what one needs to do is to ask the question, what is the situation of Hong Kong, and how can it change, and what will be its future role? And the first thing you have to say is Hong Kong was positioned to be a leading aspect of the Greater Bay Area. It will be the greatest metropolis. So anybody in Hong Kong who thinks that their concept of what China will be like in 2047, that they're going to have to integrate with, is completely meaningless. I know that the Greater Bay Area of 2035 will be more like Shenzhen than the majority of China. Shenzhen is an example of what the Chinese will do when they need to transform. And you ask people in Shenzhen whether they're able to innovate freely, intellectualize freely, and they've got the most incredible track record of innovation and development. So here you've got a situation where Hong Kong has turned on the mainland, and it's very unfortunate for Hong Kong. It will impact Hong Kong's future. They've created quite a bit of resentment in China towards them. They're viewed as spoilt, they're viewed as unpleasant. All this hostility towards the mainland is not understood in China. Why did it happen? I don't think that the Chinese knew. I think they thought that Hong Kong, under the influence of Hong Kong Chinese tycoons, would continue to be as successful as Hong Kong under the British tycoons. What they probably didn't legislate for was that the Hong Kong tycoons would move their money out of Hong Kong. And Li Ka-shing is, the most evident example of that. They should have built the lifestyle that the people needed and not just organized everything to make fortunes out of property, which is what has happened under the British and has happened under the Hong Kong Chinese. The people of Hong Kong should have been given much more opportunity to travel inside China. The big companies in Shenzhen should have been taking in droves of young Hong Kong people, letting them see all the innovations that they've got. They should have been giving summer jobs, winter jobs. They should have been giving them special university support, all sorts of things. That will all begin to happen now, because China did not do what it should have done to help the people of Hong Kong understand China and to get the benefit, their share of what was created in Hong Kong. That's been taken by the British and Chinese tycoons. Once the violence started in Hong Kong, the teachers and the parents should have said enough, and they should have come out and stopped it. Now, between them and the young people, they've got to create a dialogue themselves in Hong Kong, but the Hong Kong government and China has to help deal with the 5 demands. But at the end of the day, Hong Kong, to be what the young people of Hong Kong want, it's got to become powerful and strong again. It's going to do that by reorganizing the economy of Hong Kong and reorganizing the society of Hong Kong. But you just have to look at the role of the Western media. They've not been focused on solutions, they've been focused on challenging China. We should be saying to China, congratulations, well done. We support your restraint in all of this, instead of saying, we're watching you, and if you do something bad, there's no reason to say that. What you've got to do is concentrate on solutions and repair. And to do that, you've got to come to terms with one thing which is going to be very difficult to deal with, and that is the education system. Because I've heard Hong Kong people say to me, I hate Xi Jinping, I hate communism, I will fight, stop it. And I look at them and I think, what are you talking about? The communism that they're building in China is nothing like anything that you think you're talking about. The streets of China, they're paved with opportunity, and young people are leading a more and more liberated and remunerated life than anybody in China ever thought was possible. Most of all, I would say, if you look back at Tiananmen, but within 3 years of Tiananmen Square, all the reasonable demands of the young people in Tiananmen Square had been met. That's an amazing thing which is never discussed. So the people who had to make the decisions about what to do were very clear about understanding what the problems were.
Your dad was it?
Yes, I was in Tiananmen 2 days after it happened. My dad was a professor there. We were familiar with it. But the important thing is that societies, our society, every country has these sorts of problems that occur. They either get stuck in a vendetta between the different sides that goes on for years, and that becomes things like Shia versus Sunni, or Christian versus Jew, or Muslim. You can either get into that whole thing, or you can be involved in solving the tensions